Welcome, all you awesome human beings, to this week's episode of The Ryan Files. I met today's guest nearly 20 years ago at Legends in Concert in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Over the years, he has become a great friend and an amazing partner in projects that I've taken on, from 4th of July fireworks to writing the theme music for The Ryan Files. He's been nothing short of awesome. Of course, I'm talking about the one and only Doug Brewin. Many of you know him as a talented tribute artist performing as Alan Jackson or Ronnie Dunn of Brooks Dunn. But what you may not know is he also writes original music. So today we're talking about the musical world of Doug Brewin, including his recent banger, Somewhere Down the Road. Now, this is a fun episode that resembles more of a fun phone conversation between friends than an episode of The Ryan Files. So enjoy the levity, my friends, as I present to you the one and only Doug Brewin.
Are you not curious? Who is this man? This enigma? Yes, a man of many talents, but he is a glitch in the system. He spends his nights scouring texts for traces of lost knowledge. We dare not stand by and turn a blind eye to this man speaking on a public forum. It is all in the file. I present to you on this day the Ryan Files.
Ladies and gentlemen, busy day here at The Ryan Files. Very excited, though, to have today's guest on the show. We've been talking about this for a little bit, and this relationship has gone on for many years, probably 20 some years now. Please welcome to the show the one, the only Doug Brewin. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, how you doing?
It's good to have you, man. Oh, this is going to be a hard one.
It's a good start. This
is going to be a hard one to get through without us being us, in the relationship we have and how we talk and everything else. But man, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Okay.
Appreciate
it. I love it. This is awesome. So Doug Brewin, in case anybody doesn't know, is a performer with Legends in Concert. We met, Doug, when would we meet? Probably
2005.
Okay. 2005.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a funny thing when a new performer comes into Legends in Concert. You know, you've experienced since. You just never know what you're going to get, personality wise, performance wise, and maybe even I'm not going to say more important, but it is important how the person operates in the locker room, if you know what I mean, right? Backstage. Right. Some people are different than others. And I've always felt like a good cast is one that does a great job on the stage, but also can connect and be cool backstage. Doesn't always happen. So when you first came in, it was immediately
I always hated you.
Well, I know. And that's why we kind of I really had to work hard to gain your affection all these years. And it's been, I think it was golf that brought us together.
It was the fireworks.
Oh, it was the fireworks.
You let me smoke a cigar while we were doing fireworks, and that was kind of special.
Well, you needed something to light those fireworks, and the cigar was the perfect. Yeah.
There you go.
There's a lot of history here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying.
A little bit.
But yeah, from the very first moment,
we can cut all this stuff out. I'm sure.
No. This is Doug and Ryan right here. This is the way it needs to be.
We lost a lot of people, but okay, let's go.
But no, from the moment you stepped on stage, everybody backstage said, "This is a guy," and it's turned into an amazing relationship and career. Watching you perform, not only as Alan Jackson, but also as Ronnie Dunn in Brooks Dunn, along with Larry Turner, and so it's been awesome, man. You're extremely talented. What people don't probably see, that is paramount to this episode, is you're more than your characters that you perform. And we all are to a degree in many different ways, but when it comes to music, there's a lot of people I've met over the years, musicians in particular, that I look up to and respect because of their talent. But I don't know that you, Doug Brewin, get the credit you deserve for being just how amazing you are as a musician across the board. And you have gone down the road over the years of original music, which I respect. I love when people try to find their own voice in things. And I think even probably beyond that, in your case, is the fact that you're so talented. It's got to have an outlet, and it's this original music. Somewhere down the road is your latest original release. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to work with a lot of great players on this song. I wrote it, and actually wrote it when my wife Joanne, she was in getting her gallbladder removed, and I was sitting out in the waiting room and that's when I came up with most of it. And but in any case, I'm real fortunate to work with Jeff Sturms, who I credit as really part of a co-writer on this for music-wise, because he really, I wrote a lot of the keyboard stuff, but he just took it to another level. Jeff was formerly he worked with George Strait on tour for like 10 years. Like he was in their band on the stage with thousands of people, and I'm lucky enough I get to work with him and a lot of other great players who also have worked with other big names. And so I get to work with them on some of my shows that I'm doing around the country. And he plays keyboards for me occasionally. And so I wrote this song and sent it to him. I said, hey, would you take the keyboards, play the keyboards on here? Because all I did is just kind of program stuff in, but it'd be great if you could do it. And he just took it to a whole nother level. He's amazing. He can play anything. He can play bass. I mean, that's where the talent is: bass, guitar, all these other wild instruments, mandolin, but I'm talking about foreign instruments and stuff. And he's just keyboards, and you can hear what he does. It's just incredible. So really great to work with him. I had Eric Koala on there, played saxophone from Pennsylvania. Mike Carr on guitar. He's also from the PA area. Yep. I knew them guys from up there. And then I got my wife Joanne sang on it, and Lori Mitchell Gay sang on it as well, doing background vocals and vocals. So it was a fun project. So it was a lot of fun. And keep clearing my throat, but it's just something that I've got so many different song ideas, but it was something that I just wanted to put out. And so it's fun to get it out there finally, when it finally gets out. I don't get to work on anything as long as, I can't work on it all the time. So I only get to put a couple hours on it. And then like maybe months go by if I'm on the road traveling, doing stuff. I can't be in the recording studio working on it. So, it's nice when it gets finished.
Absolutely. And I think it's interesting that you just you gave Jeff, and rightfully so, Jeff Stearns, a lot of credit, but and you're talking about him being able to do all these different things. But Doug, I've seen it. You play all these instruments. You play bass and guitar, and
I don't play bass. I'm terrible at bass, but I play a little. I play enough to fool people. So that's what I do.
As I was saying, I've seen you, mandolin, obviously guitar, acoustic, electric, drums. You're your own band. From what I understand, you're like a First Call Studio didgeridoo player as well.
Yeah,
and
I do a lot of that. But there's like 50,000 of them, so I'm just one amongst the group.
Well, there's a lot of top quality didgeridoo players out there, and to be one of those 50,000 has to be
right.
Yeah, no, but seriously, you don't give yourself enough credit, because number one, the song, the melody, lyrics is coming from your mind. I think we all know that there's probably someone that might do this or that better, but man, it's all coming from your brain and you understand it musically. And I don't understand it musically at all. I do kind of understand things maybe a little bit more from a mathematical standpoint. And there are those that say music and math are related, but man, what you do is incredible. And I appreciate the fact that you found this outlet for you, because I can tell you take pride in it, and it's awesome. But let's talk about the song specifically. Somewhere down the road, you say you wrote it when Joe was your wife. Joe was in the hospital. What triggered the lyrics? What triggered the thought? What was the thought process going into it in that moment, and why you wrote it at that moment?
Well, it was just, it seemed like we were hitting some hard times. And of course, she's having pain. She had to get her gallbladder removed. And they're like, take her right in and doing surgery and all that stuff. And it's like, man, but it's just like, it's got to get better. It's going to get better. So, that, and also, I've got other song ideas, but this was one that I wanted to put together because it was kind of opposite of the last one that I did, which I know you loved that last song that I did. And so it's kind of the opposite of that. That was another reason why I picked that one to finish up.
Well, before we go into any of your previous songs, I think it would be cool if we could just play a little bit of your song so people could hear it.
Okay.
All right. Are you cool with that?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Brewin, Somewhere Down the Road.
Somewhere down the road, further down the line, on another day at another time, it'll be okay, we'll be fine someday. Somewhere down the road.
All right, let's go, baby. All right, Doug. It's another Doug masterpiece, Doug Brewin masterpiece. You mentioned earlier when we first got on about some Easter eggs, which for people that don't know, Easter eggs are just hidden little nuggets. So I'm assuming that at some point in this song, you can hear the Imperial March from Star Wars. Is that correct?
A little bit. It comes in the right speaker, but actually, so in the intro, so I did two versions of this and of the song. It's really the same song every time, the main part of the song, but I put an orchestral intro to the song. So there are two versions that you can watch or listen to or however you want. So because some people might not want to go through the whole beginning and they want to get to the song. So
right.
But I have one with orchestral, and during that orchestra thing, it has trumpets that do this echoey thing that they do, and that kind of pulls into the last song that I did, which you love so much, which is Time Goes On. So it's really just kind of quoting that song a little. It just gives a little like, oh yeah, that song, So that's in there. And then also, I'm a super big fan of Bruce Hornsby. I think he's one of my favorites. Him and Pat Metheny. So with there's like after one of the verse things, there's 5 notes that play, and it's something that Bruce Hornsby played in one of his songs. It's like just 5 notes, but it kind of takes off of him. So it's a little bit of an Easter egg if you're a Bruce Hornsby fan.
Right. So basically,
most people wouldn't notice.
Right. So basically, in Somewhere Down the Road, there will be an issue of you stealing from Bruce Hornsby's songs.
Yeah, there's 5 notes.
That's 5 notes. You know what's crazy, man? When it comes to that stuff, did you ever hear the thing about Joe Satriani and was it Coldplay or who was it that song Clocks? I think. What was it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I know Joe Satriani, but I don't know what song you're talking about. But somebody picked it up just like they do with the Police and everything else. And they
it was exact. And
okay.
Joe Satriani is awesome. Okay. But you know, he's a guitar player for those of you don't know. And he's playing this song, and the melody that he's playing on his electric guitar is it's exact. It's kind of crazy, and it happens all the time, but I understand what you're saying. It's cool that you plagiarized not only Bruce Hornsby, but also yourself in this song. And I think the people are going to be excited to try to find those parts.
Sure. I'm sure they're just looking them up right now, I would imagine.
Well, just using your beautiful voice, what are the 5 notes that mimic a Bruce Hornsby song? Seems like that might be in a number of songs.
A little bit. Could be.
Right.
But,
did Joe Satriani ever play those notes?
No, they are. It's not on his fretboard at all. Like they don't even exist on his neck of his guitar. Okay. So he could never play them.
That's very important to know this.
Yeah. Okay. It's only on keyboard. It's a keyboard thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, it's technical.
So, if people want to get this song, Doug Brewin.
Yeah.
How would you suggest they go ahead and find it and purchase it?
Well, they can go wherever they get their music from, whether it's iTunes or Apple Music or Amazon, or they can get it anywhere.
You can get it on Amazon.
Yeah, you can get it anywhere.
Perfect, easy.
Just Doug Brewin, somewhere down the road, and then you'll have the 2 choices whether you want the orchestral intro or not. But that's
okay.
Yeah.
If they go to any of these sites, would they be able to get any other music of yours?
Yeah, if you just look up Doug Brewin, they'll be able to get other tunes. And Late Night Rodeo, which is from the country band doing the country stuff. So that's it there too. You had a album out that was kind of country. What was the name of it? It had The Roads That I've Been Down.
The Roads I've Been Down, yeah. That's
very country.
Yeah, that was an awesome album. I know that there was some collaboration on a couple songs. The 4-time loser working on a 5th or something like that.
Yeah, that's with Rob Cottle.
You wrote that with Rob Cottle. And Turn and Run. And Run was an amazing song, beautiful song. And there's a number of others on there that were just excellent. That if you're a country music fan, you might want to check out some of that. And here it is. It's this, and there's no hard copies anymore because it's just online. You get it online. You can go to latenightrodio.com, NITE, latenightrodio.com, and you can buy the album there if you wanted to, but there's no hard copies anymore. It's just all digital. All right. What was I going to tell you about that? Oh, the cool thing about this album. So released in 2017, and every year from 2017 and beyond, it's been the #1 least listened to album in all of USA, possibly the world, really. Like just about nobody's heard it. So, I think we need to change that, Doug Brewin. Well, I think we need to change that. It makes it kind of underground, which makes it cool because it's not popular. So that's what makes it. Technically, special. That would be award winning. I mean, you're doing something that nobody else is doing. Yeah. Well, it's definitely nobody else is doing that. Yeah. So. I can tell you this for all the people. Do you mind? Are we able to play a couple of cuts from it?
Absolutely. Play away. What would you like to play on that?
These are a couple of my favorites. Enjoy.
That I'm a four-time loser working on a fifth. Number one was no fun, number two was untrue, and that's just a half of my list. They say the third's a charm, the fourth's no harm, but that there's just a myth. 'Cause I'm a four-time loser working on a fifth. So I'm skipping the stars, and I'm wishing on the moon. It looks a whole lot bigger, and that's why I figure it can make my dreams come true. I need better odds in my long shot bet. I need all the heavenly help I can get. So I'm skipping the stars, and I'm wishing on the moon. Oh, I love you something awful and I want you something fierce. Gotta have you something triple and I need your loving here. My head gets dizzy, my heart somersaults. I'm crazy about you, baby, and it's all your fault. Yeah, it's all your fault. My head gets dizzy, my heart somersaults. I'm crazy about you, baby, and it's all your fault. Girl, your smiling eyes, your laughing face, they warm me deeper than the sun, the Dixie sun. You wrapped around me like my favorite jeans. You fit just like the one, the only one. And I can't believe I got to hold you in my arms a little while. Can't believe I got to fill your days with love and see you smile. Can't believe it was so right and you and I had just begun. Then I was the one to turn and run.
See what I'm talking about, Doug? That is awesome music, man. I love it. And
You're very kind. Thank you.
well, listen, I'm not even the biggest country music fan, but man, there's a couple tunes on there that click, man, and they go. They're bangers, and it's awesome. You wrote them. People need to listen to them. They need to be able to hear them. Get it out there, man.
Thanks.
And for those of you watching, go check out Doug Brewin's site. Maybe download some of his music. Help out American music writers, for crying out loud. Absolutely.
Right. And the thing about that album was when I wrote that, when I put it together, I really did. It wasn't just one kind of, like I had in mind our band, Late Night Rodeo, that played all different country tunes,
Right.
from Western swing to like regular traditional stuff to more rocky stuff to whatever. And so the album is kind of that. When I wrote the songs, I kind of wanted it the same way, kind of represent. There's a Western swing song on there. There's something that sounds kind of like it would be a Keith Urban song, maybe. There's a song that sounds like it might be like a Lyle Lovett song. It's just a little kind of a mix of, there's stuff that sounds like maybe Alan Jackson or Brooks and Dunn or George Strait. And it's just a mix of different things. It's not just all like one kind of sound. So that was something that was important to me on that one. I just wanted to do something, mix it up a little bit.
I remember when you were going through writing those songs, and you were playing the guitar intro to Turn and Run. I was like, it's not the easiest guitar lick, right?
No, it's not.
And why is it I always find you finding the most difficult things to play? I mean, and that's a compliment. It's a compliment, but man, you
Well,
write.
it's just what I hear. But you'll hear me if I'm just walking around. I'll play that a lot, and I play a lot of the solos that I end up playing for the Alan Jackson stuff and the Brooks and Dunn. Like that's what I practice. That's when I practice. We'll get to a gig and backstage or whatever. Like I'll practice that stuff. So some of the songs, like my original stuff that I really haven't played for years, for a while, because there's just no call for it. But once in a while, I'll play "Wishing on the Moon." That's that's a crowd favorite, and we'll play that at a show. I'll throw just, the audience will want to hear, okay, one of my originals. So I throw that in. But
Right.
anyway, yeah.
That Chattahoochee solo is something else, right?
Yeah, I don't do anything on that. No.
No. Okay. What's is that the Waitress song? The Waitress song?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't even know your name, it's called. Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, Alan Jackson. And you play that acoustic guitar lead guitar break. It's incredible. Yeah, and you don't give yourself enough credit. You're awesome. I appreciate you musically. I love you as a human being, but seriously, musically, you're awesome. Thank you for everything. And Turn and Run, that's my favorite off your album. But anyways,
That is a good song. I like that song.
it is.
I like it. Your other favorite.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So here's where I have to explain to the viewing audience. So this is why Ryan Pelton does not like the one song I wrote, which is called Time Goes On. So it's called Negative Reinforcement. So I wrote the song and I recorded it, put it together. Well, I had written it a while ago. I'll tell you that story, but I recorded it and I sent it over. I finished it, pretty finished, and I sent it over to Ryan. And I talked to him on the phone. I said, hey, listen to this on some good speakers and tell me what you think. So he goes down into his lower level where he's got his computer set up, and he steps on a scorpion, and he gets stung by a scorpion right before he listens to my song. And that is why he does not like this song at all. It's a negative reinforcement. Had he walked downstairs and somebody gave him a slice of pie with some vanilla ice cream, like a cherry pie, and I'm talking about the expensive vanilla ice cream with the vanilla bean and everything, like really good, he would love this song. And that's the difference maker, I think. That's why he doesn't like it.
That's why.
Just my opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's why.
So, it sounds like I live in a freaking, lean-to. There are scorpions in Missouri, southern Missouri, all out throughout Missouri. I didn't know that there were scorpions here. I'd never in my life thought of anything like a scorpion being down here. There's also tarantulas, which I didn't find out until a few years of living here. Thank the Lord.
And brown recluse spiders.
Brown recluse spiders. Yeah. So, they're not very big and they're not going to hurt you. They're just, they're tiny. But I'm barefoot. I was actually right over there, which you can't see, but right over there.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, right over there.
Yeah. Right.
And Doug says, "Oh, well, play it on some good speakers. That's going to be." And I said, "Okay." So I go down, I fire up the studio, and I've got the studio speakers going. I don't have any shoes on. It's it's my house. Never had this concern, worry, thought in my life, and to this day, I've never walked anywhere without shoes on. To this day. And
thanks to my song.
I start playing the song and boom, I step on something and it gets me. And I'm like, son of a. So I'm like, what the heck was that? Was that a nail? What, I get a flashlight and I'm looking in the carpet and I see that shape. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I didn't know that there's any scorpions down here. And, immediately I'm like, well, am I going to die? Is this like the poisonous thing? Is like, it's going up my leg. I can't feel my fingers, all that. But I go and I get it out of the carpet and it's just like embedded. I don't even know how it got there, but it was like, and I get it out and I threw it in the toilet and flushed it down. But I did get a picture of it and it was just a scorpion. It was like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
I'm going to sting you. And that is what happened during the first probably 30 seconds of listening to.
That's why you don't like that song. I'm telling you. And he hates it now. When we're golfing, I hear about it. He'll sing it to me. He makes fun of me constantly. It's never ending.
It has become, though, it is an anthem. It has literally become an anthem backstage at Legends in Concert with Clint and Justin, because I played it for him one day and I said, you guys want to hear the most depressing song? Musically, it's a masterpiece. It's beautiful. It's like Albert Einstein math going on musically. But then there is the lyrics, which are it's heavy. It's deep.
It's introspective or whatever, and it's but to me it's more of a carpe diem thing than a depression thing. But I will say, so this is the story. You've never heard this story about the song, really? I don't think.
Okay.
So this actually, so I wrote this song. Well, I wrote the song when my mom died, which was 1996, 20 some years ago. That's when I originally wrote it. And I was doing the same thing, music on the computer. It was just me. I didn't have a lot of other players or whatever. I did it in there. And so it never worked musically. It just didn't work. So I forgot about it. But like all songs, I have, you write lyrics, you write ideas, you have things, and you keep them in a little folder in a file, and then you go pull them out someday, and maybe you have a new idea about it. So that's kind of what happened with this. It was COVID time. So it was, 2020. And here my dad is 91. He's going downhill, and I can see it doesn't look good for him. He's got kidney failure stuff happening and everything. So it made me think of the song, and I pulled it out and looked at the lyrics, and I really liked the lyrics. And the problem was that the song that I wrote did not work with the lyrics at all, because I tried to do it all on like this 4/4 time thing, and it just didn't work. So I thought about it, and I was like, why am I stuck with 4/4 time? I can do any time signatures I want to follow the words, and it's a song about time. So then I put it together, and it's 6/8 time, 7/4 time. It goes into it's got a couple measures in 2/4, then it goes 4/4 again, then it goes back to 7/4, then it's back to 6/8, and you kind of don't really notice it, I don't think, that much. I mean, and part of it is you kind of get lost because it's like a row your boat kind of thing going on where things are overlapping. And so anyway, so that's how that happened. As I pulled it back out of my old file and just tweaked a couple things, but then really just redid all the music. And you were talking about the beginning part. You like it starts out with this beautiful sound. That's kind of like a transition thing. That's like a crossing over, and that was kind of the thing that I thought of when my mom passed. So I put that in there. So then, and the other thing about it is, so it has the end lyrics, which I know you're fond of, which is we're too soon old and too late wise, whatever that, and so on and so forth. So where that came from, and I was telling Joanne when we were talking about the song, I said that actually was something that was written. It was something to that effect those last words of the song, that was something that was on a tape dispenser that my mom had when I was a little kid. I mean, I was thinking, little kid, 6 years old or whatever. That was in the house forever, that tape dispenser that my mom had. And it was written on the side of it. So, I put out the song that came out in 2021. I think it was when I put that out, and in March. But when my dad passed, they were cleaning out the house, and my wife Joanne, she's with my sisters. They're cleaning out the house. She finds something. She gives it to me as a Christmas present, and it's the tape dispenser with the words on it: "We grow too soon old and too late smart." So it's not exactly the way I worded it, but
that's crazy, man.
Yeah. So
that's well, it's all connected. That kind of makes it really cool. And what's funny, Doug, about all of this is that, people will hear these songs, with an ear for what they're hearing or whatnot, but not understanding maybe where it came from. And, that's awesome. If you don't mind, can my audience hear a little bit
absolutely not. No, there's no way. Yeah. No, well, absolutely. Sure.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this song, 9 out of 10 Scorpions prefer this song over every other. Doug Brewin, As Time Goes On.
Don't get bit.
And time goes on, and years slip free, with no regard for thoughts and prayers from you and me. Beside the road, a small white cross with faded plastic roses mark a loved one lost. My car speeds by the makeshift shrine. I wonder who they were and how they spent their time.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, 9 out of 10 Scorpions prefer that song over every other. Doug Brewin's original masterpiece, As Time Goes On. You're right. It's probably negative reinforcement, Doug. Had I won the lottery, I'd probably. No, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. No, well, it's not a song that you're going to wake up in the morning and every day and be like, man, I want to listen to this while I go out and jog, and it's not a fun workout thing. It's a toe tapper, but still, it's maybe if you got a disco ball going or something, it might bring it up a level.
So in the dressing room, myself and Justin and Clint, the Blues Brothers, for people that don't know, we'll talk about music and stuff. There's a song that I absolutely love, called Parked Out by the Lake, and it's just the same lyrics over and over again. And that's one that I'll bring up, and someone will bring something else up. And one day I brought up Doug Brewin's As Time Goes On, and I said, guys, you want to hear the most depressing song ever? And they're like, oh, it's from Doug. It's obviously going to be not depressing at all, because you're such a lively young buck and you always make people laugh. But I played it for him, and like it was almost comical how depressed they were the rest of the day. And I proceeded to tell him the Scorpion story. So now, it's like you go to work. And for those of you that don't know, if you're in show business, your work is coming in to get ready to do a show. If you're having a bad day or something goes wrong or the sound was bad, I'll say something like to Justin or Clint and be like, hey, how was the sound? And one of them will say, as time goes on and people die, or something like that. And so, We have fun with it. We appreciate it. Now, here's the thing, though, for our viewers. Okay, we say all that in fun and jest because we love Doug Brewin, and Doug is a legend within the Legends universe. You're awesome, dude, and I love having you as a friend. You're something else, man. You're so stupid creative, and
Hey, I love having you as a friend. You're
Doug's the genius. Speaking of music, that theme from the Ryan Files. How's it go, Doug? Come on.
Yeah. It's I don't know, but yeah,
It's all Doug Brewin, and so he's awesome. And I wanted it to sound a little bit more like as time goes on. But
you could switch it out sometime if you want it. But yeah, that was fun. That was a fun project, writing your theme song for your podcast.
We might have to have that be the outro of this episode. Anyways, the bottom line though is, Doug, you're uber talented. I wish maybe sometime we'll come back together and just talk about all the shenanigans over the years of cutting up and practical jokes and stuff like that. I still, to this day, and I wish they were in higher resolution, man, so I could show them. But man, that toothbrush thing, video, those photos, to this day, I found them, and they crack me up so much because you took so much time to do that.
Yeah, well, it takes time. Got to get it right.
Maybe I'll see if I can show sometime. But anyways. Go on.
Well, hey, and speaking of taking time, I appreciate, your work with this green screen and the AI making this look like I'm in my studio at my home. You did a great job. I feel right at home being in this space.
That's right. You're down somewhere south of Egypt. Where exactly are you? What is it? Sudan? What Ethiopia?
Yeah.
Where are you at right now?
Tsunami. It's called.
You're okay. Okay.
I'm in a tsunami. Yeah. So, it's right next to salami, but it's
in the dictionary at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I love you, man. So wherever you get your music at, Apple, Tunes, iTunes, Amazon,
Spotify. Yeah.
Check out, search just Doug
Scorpions
Brewin?
Unlimited. Scorpions have it. You can get it from Scorpions.
Yeah, it's the only song they have right now in their server. I've got a cat over here. Can you hear that?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised the kitty hasn't been up here. They have been literally, they love you, and they just have been running around like waiting to. Anyway, what a crazy life we live. Go and get this music. It's not going to cost you that much. Okay. Help my brother out. Let's get some sales of this music up there. It's a small little donation for the joy that you will get by being stung by a scorpion that will not hurt you other than just for a few minutes. All right. And I encourage each and every one of you to try. I would like to run a little bit of a scientific test here and see how many people get stung by a scorpion. Doesn't matter where you live. I feel like they're just going to show up. Definitely get as time goes on for that purpose. But while you're there, also check out Doug's older stuff, the country music album, which was The Roads That I've Been Down. The Roads I've Been Down. And Somewhere Down the Road, which is his latest release. Help a brother out, man. Check out his music. It's Doug Brewin. It literally is signature Doug Brewin music. So check it out. And appreciate the backstories behind all of it, because in my opinion, for me, that's what makes it all special. Knowing you and knowing how your brain works, and I can't say
a little different.
I love you. Well, it's
love you too, man.
It's Doug Brewin, but it's like you remind me of these, like the math geniuses and whatnot. You watch like a Beautiful Mind, these math geniuses like just on the board writing all these equations out, and you're similar with music, and you don't give yourself enough credit. You remind me of Dewey Cox from Walk Hard with his final big masterpiece, because you just you got it all, and you think of it all, and you and it's like 7/4 time, and then it goes to 6/8, but then it's 2/4 and 4/4, and then sometimes, man, I just stop playing because like it needs like 30 seconds to breathe like a fine wine. You know, that's Doug Brewin, and I love it. And man, you're an awesome human being. So folks, go and check out Doug Brewin. His name is spelled right here, Doug Brewin.
It's pretty good.
And then I'm going to go. All right. Check out Doug Brewin, ladies and gentlemen. Get some music. Doug, I love you, man. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you so much. When am I going to see you next?
Probably November, December, when I'm there at Branson doing Alan Jackson for the Christmas shows at Legends in Concert.
Okay, so you'll be there for Christmas. Are you singing the beautiful Hallelujah song?
I'm not sure what the set list is yet. I don't know.
Okay.
I do whatever is thrown at me, that's what I'll do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Real quick fun story about that song, Hallelujah. It's not the Hallelujah you're probably thinking of. It's a different one. But so Doug shows up and he's like, man, I'm really worried about doing this song. It's like, I don't know if I can hit these notes and I don't know if I can sing it, man. I don't know. And so he goes out and like, boom, it's like the biggest, best version of this song ever. And he's so stinking awesome. Dude, you're amazing. You know, you really are. You really are. And you're there being Doug. And that's what's awesome about you too, is it's like, you're stinking awesome, man. I respect you so much.
Well, you're very kind. I have my few tricks that I can do, but that's what I do.
I mean, well, you can write music that calls scorpions. So
it took a while to get that happening.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a.
I started with spiders, ants and spiders, and then I worked myself up to the scorpion thing.
Where do you put that top or bottom of your resume? Just kind of in the middle. Just put it in there, or
I actually put an actual scorpion in the envelope, and that way they know as soon as they open it up. It's like,
they open it up.
The mail. You got to mail. You got to mail it. It's like you can't email it because you can't email a scorpion. But
right, and you open it up, and the scorpion pops up and says, "As time goes on,
people die." Yeah, that's what it does.
All right.
I think we've lost everybody at this point. There's nobody else watching. So
that's right. Well, it's worth it. This was awesome, man. I love doing the Ryan Files, but man, it's awesome to talk to someone. This is a phone conversation for us to some degree anyways. So anyways, I love you, bro.
I love you too. Have fun editing this mess. Oh man. It's just going out. It's just going out. Okay.
Yeah. Why hide the silliness? But anyways, thank you so much, Doug. I love you.
Thank you, man.
Talk to you soon. Folks, go get Doug Brewin's music anywhere. Search for Doug Brewin, get it, own it, love it, and get out the bug spray. Thank you.
Thank you.
Doug Brewin is a sweetheart of a human being and a great friend. He's awesome. If you'd like to support Doug and his music, please search for Doug Brewin on your favorite music platform, from iTunes to Spotify to Amazon Music. Check out his entire original catalog, and for the record, the Ryan Files cannot be held accountable for any scorpion sting suffered as a result of listening to Time Goes On. Thanks for tuning in this week. I'm so thankful for your loyalty and support. We're 75% through the first year of the Ryan Files. Now, please help out the channel by subscribing. Did you know that 75% of our viewership is not subscribed to this channel? That's a big deal. So help us and smash that subscribe button. And as always, jump over to theryanfiles.com, buy one of our t-shirts, or click the Become an Agent button where you're going to be forwarded to my Patreon page. Join for free or become an agent, secret agent, or 00 agent and enjoy additional content from the Ryan Files. Check it out. We cannot wait to welcome you to our community. Next week's episode is huge, folks, as I welcome to the show retired Air Force Major Doug Pelton to the Ryan Files. Yes, you guessed it, he's my relative, and he is awesome. He's a contractor for the United States Space Force today, and his experience and insights are incredible. This is one episode you don't want to miss. You all are amazing. Do something unexpectedly nice for someone else this week. Stay curious out there, my friends, and I'll see you right here next week on The Ryan Files.
And time goes on, and days slip free, with no regard for hopes or dreams of you and me. While countless suns like clock gears turn, we make mistakes, we spew out hate, we never learn. We watch TV and go online. We choose our sides, we wage our wars, we waste our time. Big plans for the year ahead. 10 years past, those dreams are dead. Abandoned like a broken car, left to rust out in the yard. Just never gotten to it, too many things to do, it never ends. Constant wear, fill my glass and I won't care.